I know you can be tired.
Yes people, what is good? Welcome back. We are now a little over 6 weeks out from show day. We hit a new low of 104.7. It was a very busy weekend. A little bit of life back into me now. We had Saturday down at Two Bros watching Ryan compete, won his novice class, which was sick, came second in his open class to Lewis Widgery, who went on and won the overall, so definitely no complaints there. I was tempted to kind of vlog some of it, but you know, I'd rather just kind of go there and be supportive, and also just, it was a very long day, about 7.5 hours driving, sitting there for 3 hours as well, so obviously that was a rest day. So you know, up cardio beforehand, left here I think like half five in the morning, got back at 7. The last thing I wanted to do was steps, but you know, don't miss. So with a lot of fatigue from that day, again, not really being a rest day, a very active rest day. Sunday I usually take rest, but obviously I had to get my session in from Saturday. Train Monday, Tuesday, and move my rest day from today. Actually got a decent sleep for once, so feeling somewhat refreshed. And tomorrow we have Ryan going to record some of my delts and arms sessions, so we will get some good training footage in there, not just sitting on a tripod static. So update coming with that. And then after that we're going to have a bit of a sit down chat, kind of discuss, you know, and then after that we're going to sit down and have a chat about, you know, community, support system, the environment, people around you. It is very fucking important, especially as you get into those later stages, into the depths of prep. So it will be a valuable one. We'll have some nice edits coming in the next clip, and then wrap up of the week. I believe we have a high day coming Saturday, checking in again on Friday to see how much food's going in there. I'm not sure if we'll vlog it or we'll put that into the next one, but it's not going to be anything extreme, just a little top up. And yeah, we will brief you on that after some training. Catch you soon. Right guys, so 6 weeks out now today, hit a new low this morning. I'll put visuals up here as well. Super happy with this. We have delts and arms now, so gonna get in, get after it. We do have a high day coming tomorrow, as I mentioned, so you know, last bit of push here, get a bit of a top up, and then start to dig again. Feeling good, relatively good considering the drop, so let's make the most of this session, and we'll see you in there.
school, just basic rope push downs. How you do an exercise is much more important than what exercise you do in most cases. A optimal exercise done shit or with more intensity isn't going to be beneficial in any way. You know what I mean? So stop looking at what's perfect and look at perfecting whatever you're doing.
Yeah, buddy.
Wowee, very good session done there. There was 2 movements that I done which weren't recorded because Ryan had to jet off, and actually just before that I had to get Max and Mike to take a few for me, and then Max recorded my posing, which very fucking happy with. Felt full as a house somehow, a couple movements in, but inevitably with the lower food that fullness did drop off. My best not to get hit by a car, and yeah, did start to fade, but still need to get the rounds done, build up that pose endurance, especially when you're flat, so that you make sure when you are full, when you're on stage, it's a fucking breeze. So do the hard work now. But yeah, ultimately very happy with the look. We know this is flat. We're taking our high day tomorrow, which won't be in this video because it's going to be a long one, but we're going to do 200 protein, 600 carb, 40 fat across 4 meals, and then a free meal. Emily actually has plans, so I'm going to head out with the boys, grab sushi. So the 4 meals prior, pretty even split, 50 protein, 150 carb and 10 fat each, and then smash some fucking sushi, probably about 40 pieces. No direct instruction, but I'll ask Zach if he has a cap on it, but also I'm not going to like just overdo it for the sake of it. It's a little top up, 600 will still do a job. So yeah, plan for today now is go back, edit this up, get it ready, and keep cracking on. We're also pulling cardio down to 20 minutes tomorrow, which is going to feel like a fucking breeze compared to the usual 40. And yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoy, and very valuable clip coming up right now.
Right guys, so I've listened, I've asked you guys for feedback, I've spoke to people around me and taken some information on board. I'm going to give you more of a insight into the reality of prep, I suppose the downsides, the cons. This is something that I've tried to do, you know, throughout this process so far, but maybe I've been a little bit reserved in terms of detail because I don't want it to come across as, you know, moany, bitchy. I don't want to be one of those people, you know, vlogging, just talking about how difficult it is all the time because of my experience. You know, I've been through this before, recently enough, last year I competed. I know how difficult it is, but I also know how to kind of manage these things. So I'm going to give you more of an insight into what that actually looks like, you know, setting up your prep mentally as one of the biggest things. And I suppose this is like a big tangent from what we were going to talk about with, like, you know, just exclusively your social circle, but you know, managing relationships and so on around that, whether it be, you know, with your partner or just your friends. So I have actually taken down some bullet points here, which I do want to talk about. And the first one that springs to mind without a shadow of a doubt is, you know, just basic transparency. Having that conversation with your partner, with your friends, if you're still living at home, with your parents, with anyone who's going to be around you, of setting out with clear intentions of what your goal is and what that's going to entail. If it's your first time competing, you might not know all these details, so it could be pretty valuable for you to actually sit down with someone who had competed before. I've done this with one of my friends and actually one of my ex-clients now, Lawrence. I've spoken to Stephen Dunn, Mark Hodson, a few of those people when I knew that I wanted to actually compete. So getting a very good understanding. Obviously a lot of people now are just kind of pulling bits from Instagram, from YouTube, but I don't think they'll really get the nitty gritty details and how intense it actually can get, because they're only seeing the highlight reel. They're only seeing, you know, people looking at their best, maybe saying that they're hungry sometimes, but it goes a lot deeper than that. So yeah, having a good understanding of the lethargy that's going to come from it, how your social battery is going to be pretty drained, especially by the end of it, and just prefacing the prep with those around you so they know exactly what's going to come and then how to manage it. Or not even for them to manage it and to, you know, intervene, but just kind of accept the fact that that is what you're going to do. They understand that you're doing it because you have this goal, that you really want to bring your best on stage. It's something that means a lot to you. So I see this a lot of people, again, going into photo shoot preps and they're trying to do so without telling their partner, without telling their parents. It's just going to create more friction. And a pretty useful tool that could be of benefit here is, you know, with your partner, with your friends, and I'm not trying to go all, you know, 50 shades on this, but having some form of safe word or just a phrase that, you know, indicates you're feeling pretty shit right now, you're feeling tired. Hopefully you're lucky enough to have someone there who has been through it, or, you know, you've actually explained it enough and they do respect and they do acknowledge the effort that is going into it. And then you can literally just say, I'm really feeling it today, or fatigue has really hit me today, and they just accept it. They don't try and argue, they don't try to change their minds. They say, cool, that is what we had prepared for. If I can do something here to help, cool. If not, we'll move onward. I'm lucky enough to have a girlfriend who has actually been through this before. She's been through prep. She knows what to expect. She can relate, empathize, and just respect if that is something that I need. It's just we need to change plans, or the fact that I'm just going to be a little bit more quiet or less enthusiastic around her, and it's not a reflection of how I feel towards her. And on that topic, you know, maybe proactively, either prior to or whenever you have the energy on prep, give back to those people. If you know you're going to be on prep in 3 weeks time, doesn't mean you have to go binge eat everything, you know what I mean, but do as much stuff as you can with that person to say, this is me kind of, you know, scoring brownie points because I know I'm going to have to be selfish in these upcoming weeks. Booking in a holiday, weekend away, whatever, with your partner is fantastic. Proactively including other activities which won't actually disrupt your prep, whether that be, you know, cinema dates, go get a Coke Zero or bring your meal with you, walks around the park on a rest day, coffee dates. Because the worst thing you can do is just be a complete social recluse where you're avoiding every single social interaction, and then that's going to make you feel more isolated and it's going to cause more friction within your prep. Okay, it doesn't need to get to that. It might need it in the final few weeks when you're literally just running off adrenaline and caffeine, but do as much of this stuff as you can before and during your prep. The next biggest thing is, it's a double-edged sword. It's a gift and a curse, but your emotional attachment to training. If you're someone who really fucking loves training and not just enjoys training but enjoys making progress, getting stronger week on week, that's going to set you up for a really productive gaining phase, which is obviously what you need to do before going into a prep. But then in those latter stages, when fatigue is there and you may drop off a couple reps, it can be pretty disheartening. And that's something I found big time with myself. Like, I've had a very, very good post-show and off-season, relatively short off-season, which is why this prep is going really smooth. But now as those sessions are getting a little bit more draggy, pumps aren't really there as much, things just don't really feel to be clicking as much in the gym, it can be pretty fucking disheartening. So there's a time and place for that. Obviously deloads, devolumes whenever possible or whenever suitable, based off where you're at within your prep with condition, how everything's feeling, injuries and so on and so forth. But at some point you need to accept the fact, okay, things are going to stop progressing here from a performance standpoint, but that's okay because things are progressing visually. But again, it's not a cop-out to just, half-arsed training. You still need to make sure you're fighting for every single gram of tissue that's there, because it doesn't want to be there. When you're being restrictive with your calories, when you have high output, your body doesn't want to pull on the last few grams of body fat for energy when it can just pull from that muscle that's there. Your muscle is a store of energy. It's full of amino acids. And if you're not creating that stimulus, you're not creating that challenge for your body to keep that muscle there, it's just going to say, right, we don't need this amount of muscle in our back, in our arms, in our legs because it's not being used and we really need more energy, so let's pull it from here. You need to create that challenge. You need to remind your body that it does need to be there by creating a full challenge, by creating that stimulus within your sessions. So again, it's a difficult one, pros and cons to each time and place, but not necessarily a good or bad thing. And then finally, as basic as it seems, accepting trade-offs. There's some stuff that you can't do. Last night I had 2 tickets to go see a concert, which wasn't even far away from me. Could have got the tram, be back here by like 10:30, but I know that I was feeling pretty fatigued and that would have a negative knock-on effect towards me today when I'm already digging, I'm already feeling pretty fucking tired. And again, that's just the expenditure side of things. That doesn't need to be done from week one, you know what I mean? You still want to make sure you're not being a complete social recluse, go on social occasions whenever possible without succumbing to the temptation of drink, food, so on and so forth. Last year I had my parents and my sister, and I think my brother came as well, came to visit me at like 2 weeks out. Still went out with them for the day. It just means that you're bringing a bag full of Tupperware, and when they go to a restaurant you're going to have to be comfortable to just whip out that Tupperware or just eat it beforehand and then sit there with a glass of water, Diet Coke, whatever it is, because you're reminding yourself of what the bigger picture is. You've committed to this goal. It is a lofty goal. You need to know what the trade-offs are and not lose sight of that when temptation does arise. You are not going to get through a prep without temptation, no matter how focused you are. It's your decision how much thought and how much you give in to that temptation or not. And also with your partner, accepting the fact that your libido is going to drop. It's an unfortunate thing to say. It will happen to different degrees for different people at different stages of prep, assisted or not, but your actual initial drive won't be there as much. Don't get me wrong, you could still get through the full prep where you're not going to have any issues, that you'll still be able to perform, but that initial drive, that want, that urge to actually engage with your partner, or if you don't have anyone, your likelihood of like going on dates isn't going to be there, and that's fine because it will come back. But again, it just comes down to transparency, prefacing the prep, having these conversations with people so they have a clear understanding of what's going to come, giving to them as much as you can before, during, and then also maybe even scheduling in some stuff for after the prep. Booking a holiday with your partner so you have something else to look forward to. I know that's something I'm trying to do now, but as I said, my partner's competed. She understands we don't know exactly what we're doing with shows, with finals, whatever. She doesn't want to distract me from the goal at hand, which I completely respect and appreciate. But just show that intention, show that willingness to give back and show your appreciation for those people, even if there's some days when you might not be able to express it as forthrightly as you may wish to. But just being there, doing as much as you can and appreciating the support from those people goes a long, long way, okay? So yeah guys, that's essentially it. Quick wrap up of the week. I know I didn't really talk about it much, but as usual, log here of all the details from the week. Weight dropped significantly this week, hitting new low today, kilo pulled off, Very, very happy. Still waiting for feedback from Zach, but we are going to run a high day tomorrow. He did offer you that if I want to take my partner out for food, but that's something we can schedule in, which, you know, I'm very fucking appreciative of. And piggybacking off the points just made, that's something I'm definitely going to do. You know, prioritize those social interactions, give back to the people who are supporting you. But I will have an update for you on that topic in the next video. I'll also be heading down to Zach for an in-person check-in on Wednesday, so we'll vlog that, see where things are at. But yeah, big drop. 6 weeks out, guys. Really time to make it count. Appreciate your support. Any other feedback, suggestions, as always, welcomed. And I really do hope this was a very genuinely informative and valuable video for you guys. And I'm really fucking excited to take you on the rest of the journey. See it all on show day, see it all come to fruition, and bring my absolute best. No doubts, no regrets. And after that, whatever happens with placings, it's out of my hands. But yeah, guys, appreciate it. Peace out. Take care.